Father, we just want to say thank
I
you.
didn't know that.
Thank you for this day that you have made, and we're going to rejoice and be glad in it. Heavenly Father, we just want to say thank you.
Thank you,
Go
Jesus.
with us. Be behind us. Be in front of us. Be over us. Lord, there's no one else but you. All we have to do is trust and believe in you, that you will open doors that are closed. Father, you'll make a way out of no way. Just put all our burdens on you. You'll take us through where we've never been before. Father, we need you, and we need you now. We're your children. We're crying out to you. Father, we want you in the mix right here, right here, right here, and right now. Father, nobody else can do it but you. You're a good God. You woke us up this morning with a push of help. Food on our table, clothes on our back.
Yes, you
Father,
did.
we just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. If I had 10,000 tongues, I couldn't thank you enough.
That's
for
right.
what you've done and for what you're going to do. In Jesus' name we pray. We got to move on there.
Oh, Christina got it. Let me see. Let me see the clipboard. You know what? Get it back. No. Yeah. What happened was this wasn't mentioned that. So,
Yes, you did an update.
yeah. This is the updated one. Okay, y'all. Good afternoon. My name is Jesse Perkins, and I am here to provide updates and briefly share 10 things you need to know as of today, Monday, January 31st, 2022, about the fight for a fully funded relocation, with the next needed step being an immediate allocation and distribution of funds. Despite all of the current press about the EPA administration working together, we need these 10 things to be made clear and understood. Excuse me. We fought to ensure that the city master plan supported identifying funds for the fully funded relocation off of the Agriculture Street toxic landfill Superfund site that the city of New Orleans built homes for in the name of affordable housing. Identifying funds for the fully funded relocation should have already happened during the 2017 to 2021 timeframe. And it makes for a provision that this be attended to now also. We achieved the master plan amendment, and yet on Monday, January 31st, 2022, we are still fighting for a fully funded relocation, when all we need is allocation and distribution of funds. The time for a fully funded relocation is now. It's been confirmed several times over that the city has secured more than enough funding to make this happen today, with funds that have yet to be allocated, whether it be $300 million bond sales money or the $79 million premium. The time for a fully funded relocation is now. The mayor, members of the city council, and the new administrator for the Environmental Protection Agency on the federal level have all acknowledged that what happened at Gordon Plaza is an environmental injustice and racism. EPA Director Regan also called it an example of environmental racism. The city has gone on record as saying the residents of Gordon Plaza are absolute priority, yet we have every right to be cautious of any plan stated by the city of New Orleans and the EPA, because both have dismissed our needs as an afterthought at the sacrifice of lives over the past 4 decades. Many of our neighbors have not made it to this day due to early and preventable cancer-related deaths. The reason we fought so hard to have a $35 million line item to the capital improvement plan is because it was already supposed to be aligned with the master plan during the 5 years. And to talk about $2 million that the mayor's administration refers to is not designed to move this process along with urgency. Evidence of this was when Ramsey Green stated that the RFP would be attended to by the end of the year. So now we hear the mayor's announcement state that it's just now being put out and will be 2 months before they are secured. Either way, that puts us at April, and 2 months can be the difference between life and death for us. We are here today on the Agriculture Street landfill and waiting will put us to 1 more year since the city sent out surveys asking if we were each interested in a fully funded relocation with moving expenses. As we had already demanded, we appreciate that the new EPA administrator says that he will work with the city to help expedite this. After we demanded such, but we cannot go by words, both the EPA and the mayor along with this council can show us their support better than you can tell us. Here is an example of what showing us their support would be. If there is a promise of federal funds coming down for the federal government, this is fine. However, the city of New Orleans does not have to delay our fully funded relocation at all. The city currently has funds on hand now to ensure the fully funded relocation. As a first step priority, that will only allow the city of New Orleans all the time it wants after we have safely moved to determine its next steps. The future use of the land should not hold back progress for the residents of Gordon Plaza. On January 26th, the EPA Administrator, Michael Regan, released a list of policy actions that include pressing state and local elected officials to take urgent action to better protect the most overburdened communities. Well, what we have heard demonstrates more delays as evidence that, to this day, we are still fighting for allocation and distribution of funds to safely move into our healthy homes of choice. We are one of the most overburdened communities in the entire state of Louisiana. In the U.S. actually, in the U.S. actually. People often say how terrible it is to hear about the stories of people who live near a Superfund site. In our case, we live directly on top of it.
Yes.
And there are nearly 18, something's cut off here.
18 feet of toxins.
There are nearly 18 feet of toxins. Where at? On 18 feet of toxins, carcinogens underneath our homes, and cannot afford to be silent about it. Okay, I got that. All right, number 6, y'all. In order to achieve the demand of a fully funded relocation, we organized to have a $35 million line item that would secure the full relocation, inclusive of moving expenses. This amount was not some random number pulled out of the sky. It is based on our needs, according to our needs. That was approved during the January 6th council meeting. The amount ensures that every member of the Garden Plaza community fighting for a fully funded relocation has access to healthy housing off of a landfill, should they desire, whether they be homeowners, renters, or people who got pushed off their properties unable to return due to obstacles or health prohibiting circumstances, but still own and pay taxes. All would be accounted for in the process regarding land acquisition. Number 7, the residents of Gordon Plaza are made to push and fight for every inch of forward movement, and we are in no position to simply trust the mere words of elected, appointed officials that say we will resolve this, nor are we in a position to accept extended timelines and delays which keep pushing us further and further on the back burner. Number 8, the city of New Orleans does not need to create any plan for us at this point. All we need is an immediate timeline for immediate allocation and distribution of funds. We do not have any problem with solar energy. We welcome and have demanded environmental solutions. Yet, we do not want deception about what's what. We do not want any more promises that action is being taken for us, when said action is really about the future land use. Instead, we demand a fully funded relocation, which will only speed up any city plans for future land use. We do not want any pretended task force suggestions to discuss anything that we have made clear for the last 3 decades. All we need now is a fully funded relocation, which currently requires an immediate allocation and distribution of funds. So we can safely move into healthy homes of our choice. We do not want to hear the next step is a $2 million RFP for a private company.
Yes.
when no matter what those people say, we already know what we need according to our needs. And if this is not attended to, then there is no equity. Number 9, however, we know for certain that this situation can not only be resolved, it can be resolved today. If you all wanted to be, if you all wanted it to be. Today. Not tomorrow, today. We know that all that is required at this point is for someone to literally open up the books and decide which pot of money the $35 million will come from. It will be officially allocated. Then the fully funded relocation distribution process can begin immediately.
Immediately.
Should future federal funding come, then the city can reimburse itself. Reimburse itself.
Yes.
In the same ways that it has done historically through budget adjustment. And this one can easily be done as land acquisition. Problem solved. Number 10, we feel as if we are being punished with these delays because the city of New Orleans neglected its responsibilities in the past, and now must get its house in order before next steps can be taken. We have decades of studies, reports, and analysis, including an enviroforensics expert report and evaluation of U.S. EPA site characterization and remedial assessment data that tells us all we need to know about the conditions of our homes. Nothing more is needed. Nothing. Zero, zilch. We make that very clear. We say that our lives must be prioritized. And once our fully funded relocation takes place, then the city of New Orleans can take all the time it wants to attend to what it needs to attend to.
Yes.
The only win-win in this situation is for our lives to come before profit. Our lives to come before profit.
Yes.
The city of New Orleans is permeated with discussions about stopping crime. But the crime that has wreaked the most havoc on our lives across the city is elected officials that exploit and oppress the people.
Yes.
Elected officials that exploit and oppress the people. Those are the real criminals. No one wants to be killed with a bullet, nor toxic air, water, or soil. More lives have been lost to cancer in Gordon Plaza than can be accounted for, and we should not have to wait one more day. You all should act urgently. The time is now. Time is now. I'll end this by saying this one more time. All that is required at this point is for someone to literally open up the books and decide which pot of money the $35 million will come from. It will be officially allocated, and then the fully funded relocation distribution process can begin immediately. Should future federal funding come, then the city can reimburse itself in the same ways that it has done historically through budget adjustment. And this one can easily be done for the purpose of land acquisition. Today, Government Affairs Committee will be meeting, and it could be easily decided today to be on the right side of history and agree in this meeting to make a recommendation to put forth a motion in the very next council meeting to officially allocate these funds from one pot of money, the bond sales money that is sitting, waiting to be allocated to this purpose, and ensure that our needs are met and our lives are prioritized. The time is now. This is long overdue. We do not need one more delay. We need an immediate allocation and distribution of funds to go ahead and address this once and for all. The time is now. The time is now. The time is now, not tomorrow. The time is now, today. Fully funded relocation. No more hesitation. Fully funded relocation. No more hesitation. Fully funded relocation. Ashe.
Yes.
Did the media person speak to you?
Not yet.
Okay.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah, I thought I did.